What's up? Hey, what's good? What's poppin'? I am MsBerry. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you guys for sliding through and coming to kick it with me. As you guys can see from the title, this will be, y'all know I can't talk, my first time reaction to this whole Shanquella Robinson situation. I am very familiar with it. I've definitely been following it. I haven't been able to post the last week so to YouTube, so I am back. I'm excited about that. And we back in motion. So I've been following, and you know, I haven't really heard much talk about the second video, strictly because I just wanted to, you know, watch and react to it for you guys. So I'm done talking, let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all, my mouse died. I need to charge it, so I'm using my hand.
Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicles Speaks. The case of Shanquella Robinson and a trip taken with 6 of her associates to Mexico turned out to be life-changing for all involved. For one, Shanquella lost her life, and the person wanted for the murder is now wanted in Mexico for the crime, and Mexico is asking them to be extradited back. The 5 others are probably running afraid, wondering what will happen if they are indeed implicated for their involvement in this murder. And now the entire nation is waiting with bated breath for the U.S. government to do what they need to do and handle this situation, making sure that the people involved in this heinous crime are apprehended and taken back to Mexico to pay for taking this precious young girl's life.
And let me just say, because, you know, guys, this is the first video that I'm actually putting out on my channel in regards to this situation. And let me just say, I don't have friends. Like, you know, a lot of people may say that, but generally speaking, I have not one friend that I could literally call on my phone right now and say, hey, come over, or hey, do this, or hey, let's go out for a drink. I have not one friend. And I talk to my mom about it often, and, you know, I just don't be understanding sometimes. I'm like, but this, but that, you know, I don't really click with a lot of young people my age. Like, it's like I'm an old soul. A lot of things that they're into, I'm not into. So when I hear about this situation, this is where I'm going. When I hear about this situation, you know, friends on a birthday trip, you know what I'm saying, to Cabo, out the country, you know, like, I want to live it up in the water, all of this. And this is what happens. Like, Shanquella loses her life. And we don't even know all of the facts yet, but this is what makes me reevaluate the fact of me being sad, my eyelashes, about me being sad about not having friends. It makes me reevaluate, because it's like things like this, and it's so unfortunate. She didn't deserve that.
Horrific way. This video today will discuss the interview that the lead attorney here on YouTube had with the investigative reporter Geraldo Zuniga, who I've been in communication with as well. Geraldo broke down everything. The government in Mexico has 2 videos, one that we have seen here in the US, and of course one that we have not, detailing the fateful events that happened on October 29th. He also spoke about the process of getting the aggressor, who now has a warrant for her arrest, captured in the United States and extradited back to Mexico. He spoke about the conditions in the Mexican jail and how much time she will get. We will break down all of this and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on anything concerning this case and more. Now let's get back to it. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, the news of Shanquella Robinson and the trip she took to Mexico last month that ended in a femicide has been top news here in the United States. Everyone is searching for justice and making sure that the people involved in this crime will not get away with murder. Now, the lead attorney posted a video with Geraldo Zuniga, who is an investigative reporter in Mexico. You remember, this is the same guy that's been giving me information regarding the case, the corruption, the police taking the money, and all of that. He advised that many of his fellow colleagues have been murdered for unveiling the corruption going on in Mexico. So the fact that he's putting his own life on the line to uncover,
it's just crazy to me for, you know, other people to lose their lives to speak the truth, all because, you know, a company or whatever want to keep this image and, you know, want to conceal secrets from violent incidents and things like this because they need that money to keep flowing in. But when you die, you can't take none of this with you. Like, I understand, but money is definitely the root of all evil, especially if it's in the wrong hands. And it's just like, this is a precious life. Like, no, she is not from Mexico, but this is a precious life that was lost, unfortunately, in Cabo. You know, unfortunately in Cabo. Like, unfortunately, period. Period. And so it shouldn't be covered up under any circumstances. All of this, oh, she had 17,000, you know, with her, and the police stole it, took them 3 hours to actually report it, and this, like, all of this stuff, it's just like, I just don't understand. I really don't understand. Out of all 6 of them people, out of all 6, not one person is just literally quick to fly to literally say what's going on. Like, obviously, it's a lot more to it than we know right now, but we are finding out slowly but surely, and it just makes absolutely no sense. That's just so inhumane to me.
Possible corruption in this case is admirable, to say the least. Now, y'all make sure to follow the lead attorney for the full interview. I'll put the link down in the description box below. He spoke to Gerardo in Spanish and translated it back to his viewers. I don't speak Spanish, so Gerardo and I message one another. He translates it back to English to me. So our communications aren't very lengthy because of the work involved, but the lead attorney is bilingual, so we were able to hear exactly what Mr. Gerardo has to say. Now, Mr. Gerardo explained femicide. Now, we talk a lot about homicide in the United States, but we don't discuss femicide. And I personally had never even heard about femicide until this case happened. Now, he explained femicide as a murder against a woman versus a man, or it can even be a murder against a woman versus another woman, but it's considered a femicide if it happens in a very violent way. And that's what happened in this case with Shanquella Robinson. It was very violent. He also explained that it also carries a heavier penalty or sentence because it was videotaped. So the fact that this was videotaped makes it 10 times worse than it was before.
For the videos.
In the country of Mexico, a femicide carries a minimum sentencing of 20 years. So 20 years is the least amount that any of the people implicated in this murder will get.
Baby, Dejanay, whatever the hell her name is, she gon' boo. Mexico is just not gonna be great to you. Mexico is not the greatest place for you to be locked up at, because they don't play. They don't play. They absolutely don't play. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you just basically ruined your life. All because of what? You helped take a life out of this world. All because of what? Like, what was that worth? Your freedom? Was that worth anything? Was it worth it? Was it freaking worth it? Like, it makes me so angry because, like,
it goes up to 50 years. Now, the person that they're currently looking for has not been named. He said that he's hearing it's Dejanay, but in the country of Mexico, a warrant is strictly private until the red notice has been released. And the red notice is a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate and provisionally arrest a person pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action. Now, he has connects with the police. He has other colleagues, and he's saying that he's being told is Dejanay is definitely the person that's the aggressor in this crime. And according to the video that we've all seen and the video that he's going to detail, and I'll detail to you later as well, the aggressor in both videos happens to be Miss Dejanay Jackson. Now, to just briefly steer away from this interview really quick, I want to give you my own personal beliefs. I do not believe that this was a setup that they had prior to going to Mexico. I feel this was a card game gone terribly wrong. Now, they had a card game.
I mean, but again, a card game, but from what I seen, she was asleep and she was woken up out her sleep to, like, getting beat on, like, fighting, and she didn't even want to fight back. Like, Quilla, you not gonna fight back? No. You don't want to fight? No. Like, she is the only one that is butt booty naked. You know, I'm not sure, you know, it's been a little bit of a mix, so I'm not exactly sure if she was asleep, you know, in the bed, or if she just, you know, but they're in a totally different room from her video when she was going around the house looking at them, looking for them and stuff. So they said she was asleep and she was woken up, like Dejanay, whatever, woke her up to fight. So it's just kind of like, this was over a card game, supposedly. Then why you just didn't speak your beef during a card game or something. Like, why you wait till she go to sleep or whatever the case may be? Then the other video of her supposedly best friend, man of what, 5 years or whatever, like recording her talk about some our first dead body. Like, what in the actual?
And one card in the game said,
curse.
All players send hate mail, mean text, DM, posts, etc. to the people that flaked tonight. I think just from my own personal investigative standpoint, this was a card game gone dead. Just gonna tell you how I broke it down in my own mind. Shanquella slept in the master bedroom because she paid for the villa out of her own pocket, and we'll discuss that later. Now, I think Dejanay rounded up everyone and told them that she was going to fight Shanquella. Only one side of the bed had been slept in. You can see the pillows on that side. One side had been moved, and obviously one side had not. Now, I believe she used that duvet, that one sheet that they fold up at the bottom of the bed. I think she used that to wrap up in because you could see it was rolled up during the assault. Now, again, I believe she was woken up out of her sleep because the assault again happened on the same side of the bed where it looks like she slept on. Now, there's been talk that her family said she typically slept naked, and you know, a lot of us do that. I think she woke her up and she confronted her and told her to get up. She was gonna fight her. People recording or standing back far enough as to not wake up Shanquella, and they were probably told not to jump in. But they had their cameras ready to record it. Even her quote-unquote best friend, Mr. Khalil Cook. There are some videos on Twitter where you can hear Shanquella briefly say,
Just makes me mad.
And Dejanay says, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Shanquella then puts one foot behind the other and reaches out to begin to block Dejanay. I do personally believe that Dejanay did wake her up, confront her, bring the other ones in the room, tell her to get out the bed, gave her enough space to get out the bed, because clearly there was just enough space in between them that I think Dejanay just wanted her to get ready, and Shanquella just wanting to get it over with was like, okay, not knowing that this will end her life. I don't personally feel like this aggravated assault was intended to end Shanquella's life. I believe Dejanay really thought they were going to fight, and this fight went completely left and ended up in a way that none of them figured it would end up. And also, Mr. Gerardo did speak about the second video when a woman came into the room and stopped the fight and actually got into it with Dejanay. So again, going back to the interview, he does admit that there are two videos, and according to the police, there is a person that tried to intervene in the fight, and it's not one of those men. She heard screams and blows, and she came from the back bedroom, and she gets in front of the camera a little bit, and the camera goes to the right. So there,
I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this ring light is hurting my eyes. I've been staring at screens and I feel like my eyes are straight. But we gonna get through it. We gonna get through it.
Another smaller fight after the Shanquella interaction. So there definitely are two videos because we did not see that. Now he says in the first video, you can see that the woman kind of wants to get in it, but the camera goes to the right and then the camera stops. In the second video, she goes in and starts arguing with Dejanay, and that's when the fight stops, and then Shanquella starts convulsing on the ground. He hasn't seen the video, but he's getting this description directly from the police in his connects. Now, I am not sure, and I asked him, I'm waiting on a response, but I am not sure if this other woman was Winter Donovan or Elise Hyatt. I'm leaning more towards Winter Donovan because she seemed like the more concerned one out of the crew, and she was also the one that called 911 when the doctor could not revive.
But didn't they say Winter was supposedly in another video, I mean, that we have yet to see, but supposedly the one that delivered the fatal drop, you know, the whole picking her up and slamming her by her neck. And all in all, I'm just still trying to put that together, like, unless she had some type of strength, or was Quilla like real little, like, because how do you just pick her up and just slam her down on the ground like that? Unless she just, I don't know, either or. I just really wish that they just speak the truth so we could just stop guessing, assuming, and just say it. Like, it's already out there. She already unfortunately lost her life. Y'all already in trouble. So just speak it. Like,
now, the only thing that confuses me about this situation is that he said the woman ran from a back bedroom. So I am not sure if he was trying to say from the back of the room or if he was talking about Winter Donovan, because as far as I know, Winter was already in the room and she was the girl that was recording saying, why does she have to fight back?
Why is she not fighting?
So I don't know. That just confuses me. Maybe that was Elise. I don't know. So I'm trying to figure that out now. Now, this unnamed person, which we still know to be Miss Dejanay, will be locked up in a medium security prison that's called the San Jose del Cabo prison, which is in the same city that this murder took place. And let me tell you this prison is nothing to play with. Now, we'll get into that in a minute. The prison sentence will be determined by the judge, and in this case, the person that committed the crime fled back to the United States and abandoned the victim. This is another aggravating, determining factor that is causing them to classify this as a femicide. There's extreme violence. There's leaving the body. There's recording it, which is an invasion of privacy. It's another aggravating factor. So considering that Dejanay was not the one that recorded it, and recording it is a determining factor, you best believe that warrants will soon follow for the people that recorded this as well. Now, in order to get this person extradited back to Mexico, again, the red file from Interpol has to be released. Now, once that is released, the person's name on the warrant will be released as well, where she works, her relatives, and all of that information. But again, the warrants right now are classified until the red file is completed. Now, the red file is the process to get the documents together, to get the arrest order, and get all of the documents and send them to the Interpol. He's estimating that this is going to take about 15 days. It's all dependent on the intelligence of the FBI in the United States. So Mr. Gerardo is saying that this information regarding the warrant should be released to the public sometime next week. They just need to get the information for the red file and ask for the extradition orders. So they have legal procedures that have to be carried out, one with the police and the other with foreign relations. They have to work together. Once this notice is given to the authorities can then go pick up the person and take them to custody. When the person is arrested in Mexico, she'll be taken to the prison in San Jose del Cabo. There's a hearing that's first held. This is called the first hearing. They'll read her rights and also explain all of the evidence. They'll go over the audio, the video, all the documents that they have, and they have a lot. This will all incriminate her. Now, the second step is another hearing. After that second hearing, they will give the prosecutors 3 to 6 months to complete and close the investigation. There will not be a trial held for this murder. Now, note this, when she makes her declaration, more information will come out. This will reveal whether this is a homicide, whether it's a femicide, whether it's planned, whether they were just drunk and playing around and it went left. Once the aggressor makes her declaration, we will then see if more people will be implicated. Now, let's say this person that has a warrant for their arrest gets to Mexico, stands in front of the judge, and does not want to talk. She may want to plead the fifth if they're able to do that in Mexico. Well, guess what?
Pleading the fifth would be so stupid because the girl, we already see you on camera. Like, whether or not who did what, we already see you on camera. Like, the truth coming out. The truth coming out. You better start singing and stop singing. You better start singing. Like, I just don't understand. Nobody is really like, I just don't understand. Like, this has to be one of the saddest stories ever. And I don't understand what the hell is wrong with people. What is wrong with people? What if this was and then one of the girls just had lost her sister the day before the trip. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to no dang on Cabo after I just lost my sister violently, tragically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to go parlaying, kicking in no Cabo. Like, that's going to have to wait because at this point, I'm not about to have fun. I'm mourning. I'm grieving. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to wrap my head around that I just lost my sister type of thing. So for one, I'm not going to Cabo. I just feel like it's just what is wrong.
They have all of the proof that they need. They have fingerprints. They have sweat. They have the video.
Right. The fingerprints on her body is whose?
So she's going to end up pretty much screwed either way it goes. The evidence is science. According to Mr. Gerardo, she can't say that the fingerprints on Shanquella do not belong to her. This is all science. They have traces of blood. They have all of the proof they need. So if she does not confess, they don't need it. Now again, unluckily for her, This sentence for femicide is a minimum of 20 and a maximum of 50.
That's not even lucky.
Because of everything that was involved, the videotaping, the type of aggression, the type of violence, 20 years is not what she's gonna get. And I guarantee you, because so much light is shed on this case and it's making Mexico look so bad at this time, they're going to make an example out of her to make sure we Americans don't go over there and do that type of violence in their country again, making them look bad. So what she can do, however,
every country different
is start
now.
Snitching. If this was a plan that they all had prior to going to Mexico, if this was a plan they came up with that morning, if they told her to do it, these are all things that she could tell them to implicate some of the others in the house. She can get less time, but she can't get anything less than the 20 years. So if they decide to give her 30, they might lessen it to 25, but she can't get anything less than the 20 years. Now, the Mexican officials
She needs to go away for life. Like, girl, you need to go away for life. You messed up this lifetime. Like, try again next lifetime. Maybe you'll be a better human.
seem like they need a little help trying to figure out what happened in this case. According to Mr. Gerardo, they were thinking that it was a game gone bad, and they thought that Shanquella went and put some intimate underwear on top of Dejanay's head. They didn't know that it was a bonnet. They ain't never seen nothing like that. And they were thinking Dejanay woke up and she saw these underwear on her head, and that's the reason why she yanked it off with such aggression during this assault. And that's not it. The lead attorney had to tell him, no, that's the bonnet. And he was laughing like, bonnet where? Also, they were thinking that Miss Dejanay was transgender because the maid and other people at the villa kept seeing her take off her wig and put her wig back on. They're not used.
Forget the wig. She do look a little transgender, but at the same time, I love, like, you know, my LGBTQ, my LGBTQ. I have to slow down when I'm saying it or whatever. So this is, my comment is in no way any, you know, disrespect towards any guy, anybody, none of you guys or anything like that. So I just want to, you know, point that out there and say, but I only said that because she do got a strong face. And first off, I'm not about to say anything good about this girl. Period, point blank, you won't get nothing from me.
Over there in the country, and more than likely she had the stocking cap underneath it, and maybe, you know, sometimes a stocking cap makes it look like you have a bald head. Dejanay does have very strong features and she's very tall, so they were thinking that she was transgender. And I also told Mr. Gerardo, y'all have her listed on the website as being a transgender, and she is not. And the lead attorney had to let him know that as well. She's just a big girl. So Dejanay, the lead attorney, and I were just trying to make sure that you got to the right side of the jail when you got over there, because it seems like they was real confused. Now, before we talk about that god-awful jail, let's first talk about the Attorney General, Mr. De La Rosa, who is currently investigating the doctor that worked on Shanquella, because according to the autopsy, they're saying Shanquella died at 3:00 p.m. And according to the doctor, she didn't arrive to the villa until 3:15, so that means that Shanquella had already passed or ascended before she even got there, and she claims that she was working on her for 3 hours. So were you working on just a dead body, or what?
I'm trying to figure out, for 3 hours, what in the hell was you doing with not all of the right equipment? For 3 hours, what you bring to the room that you was doing for 3 hours? That's what I'm trying to figure out, because, you know, when the paramedics or, you know, certain people arrive, they come with the basic equipment. You know what I'm saying? Enough to keep you alive, like to try to keep you going. So I'm just trying to figure out what did you, for 3 hours? Like, this is just nothing but a whole bunch of freaking lies.
They're questioning that, and they're also questioning the police that were there on the scene. Anytime a homicide, femicide, or anything of that nature happens in the country of Mexico, and there are people involved that need to go back to the United States, they're typically held there in Mexico until this is solved, until they can find out what happened. And the fact that they let them go and let them go so quickly, they're looking into the police to find out, hey, were they paid off? The villa was notified of what happened inside of the Airbnb, and considering that they were all leaving and they did not get to stay for the whole time they paid for, the villa refunded all of the money, which happens to be $5,400. These are all things that are being investigated currently. And again, I did advise you that Mr. Gerardo did tell me that funds were stolen out of Shanquella's bag, up to $17,000.
Make no sense.
And honestly, the only way to really prove how much Shanquella did take over to Mexico would be going to that airport and meeting with customs to find out how much she declared. So FBI or whoever's investigating, if you haven't done so already, they need to find out how much was declared, how much went back in her bag, and then they can start investigating who took what. So again, according to Mr. Gerardo, the police and the doctor are under investigation.
Very little.
And honestly,
like
the autopsy does not lie. It can give you so much information down to the T.
And I'm sorry, I'm talking like with the video, y'all. I'm sorry.
Because of the science. So we're going to believe the autopsy before we believe the police report and before we believe the doctor. But if the doctor did indeed get there and Shanquella was already passed and they did not give this information to authorities and they covered it up to protect tourism in Mexico, they need to go down for this murder as well, and rightfully so. They will do so. Now let's talk about this prison that this unnamed person will be going to. Now this prison is filled with people that have done a lot of organized crimes. It's a prison full of gangs. Now he explained that there was a drug war back in 2014 and it lasted until 2019. And in 1 year, there were more than 1,000 deaths. And the people that are in that prison are the people that were involved in those killings. The murders of 1,000 people. So think about her in there not speaking a lick of Spanish, trying to talk to them people and ask for their cornbread. The prison is full of hitmen, gunmen, snipers. They got drugs in the prison. He said they got weapons in the prison. They have a side for men and they have a side for women, but they said some of the women are just as corrupt as the men. They said the prison had the deputy director of the prison murdered because he didn't agree with the proposals of the inmates. They said one of the guys in the prison uploaded to his social media the conditions inside of the prison and they were horrible. One of the worst in Mexico. Dejanay, you better not walk in there with that same aggression that you had on camera that I saw you with.
Not walking in with that same aggression.
It's not gonna work out for you over there, girl. Go over there clapping your hands and snatch off a bonnet if you want to when you get over there. I guarantee.
We on the same path, girl. We on the same path. Yeah, go on over there and try that.
You won't make it.
Better learn Spanish.
Just a word to the wise. If I was the rest of you unlucky sticks,
I know that's different,
I would definitely get to talking because there's no way in the world I would stay quiet this whole time. Have Dejanay go over to Mexico and be pleading her case and throwing me under the bus with. Y'all better get to singing. Whatever you saw, whether you recorded it, any other recordings you have, you need to go ahead and come out now because I guarantee you when she gets over there, she's throwing y'all all underneath the bus. She's not taking this by herself. So it's best if you go ahead and get your name clear now. Whether you get some time or whether you don't get some time, you don't want her speaking on your behalf and letting her tell them that you're the one that gave the fatal blow. Or
why y'all quiet
anyway? You're the one that told her to do it. Y'all get to talking now. Y'all know I don't typically do long videos, but I did want to update you guys on everything that's happening. Don't forget to follow the lead attorney. His channel is wonderful, and the interview that he did with Mr. Gerardo Zuniga is wonderful as well. You guys make sure to catch it.
Okay, guys, so I'm gonna end the video right there because it's pretty much over anyway. It's just this whole thing, like my leg is shaking. This whole thing is just, it just makes me so mad. For one, Shanquella paid for the whole Airbnb or whatever you want to call it with her money. You know what I'm saying? Which she did not have to do for 6 other grown ass adults. And you know, and it's just, it's so unfortunate. I just don't understand why are y'all still quiet for so long? This happened with October 29th. We're in December 1st. Why are y'all still quiet? Like, don't nobody want to speak up? Like, are y'all that freaking scared? If you really didn't do nothing, then you would speak your piece. You would tell us what happened. Not even her family deserves to know. Like, bump us. Her family deserves to know more than anybody, because that's just wrong. You know, here it is. The family trusted this man who's supposed to be her best friend. He been at family functions with them, traveled with them. Then hell, after they came back from Cabo, all of them over there at the mama house, you know, trying to console and get information. As soon as they heard about them autopsy report, out. out, ain't seen them since. Like, what type of human beings are you? What type of human beings? Like, I just don't understand. They have to be mentally messed up. Something got to be wrong, because there's no way that I'm not gonna speak up. If I know that I ain't did nothing and this happened for one, I will try to prevent something like that. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know all of the details, so that's the reason why, you know, everything is unfolding and we just have to be patient. But this is just very disgusting, and it's very disturbing and very inhumane. And I am so sorry that she had to even go through that, endure that. Like, she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve to lose her life. It's most importantly, she most definitely did not deserve that. And, you know, rest in peace, baby girl. Like, it's so unfortunate that you had to lose your life because of jealous people or whatever. You know, you can't even have real friends in the world. Like, people don't even want to see you be great or be successful. That's the reason why, you know, if I get a group of friends, I want to surround myself around people that is doing better than me, or just as, you know, so they can motivate me to elevate. I don't want to have, you know, I mean, it's cool to have broke friends or this or that, but not when it turns into jealousy and stuff like this. But whatever. But anyway, guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction video. I didn't really enjoy, I mean, I enjoyed, you know, just hearing more about it, but I didn't really enjoy reacting to it because honestly, y'all, it hurts my soul, you know, just to be a woman, you know, a black woman at that, you know, and to just think like you just can't really trust the soul. Like, you just never know who plotting on you or who doing this and who doing that. So honestly, I didn't enjoy reacting to this video because it didn't do nothing but tug on my heartstrings a little harder. But anyway, y'all, I just definitely wanted to see it and give you guys my thoughts. Y'all comment down below, let me know what you think about this situation as well. Comment down below, let me know what you want to see on this channel. Also, guys, the original video will be listed in my description box down below, just in case you guys want to, you know, check it out on your own time, because it is, you know, 20 minutes and 5 seconds. So if you want to go back, then hey. But it's nothing more I can really say about it. It's just disgusting. So anyway, y'all, if you're not subscribed to my channel, before you go, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and ring that bell so when I drop a new video, you will know, you won't miss it, and you will be right here. So y'all, I'm sorry that this was like, you know, a little bit of a downer video. I was, you know, I'm a little hot. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little hot. You know, every time I hear or see something, because it's everywhere, it rubs me the wrong way. And y'all, we got to protect ourselves out here. It's hard to say, you know, it's unfortunate that you can say, oh, you can't trust nobody, you can't trust, you know, it's just, we have to definitely protect ourselves out here, y'all. Especially, you know, us moms. It's not even just especially us moms, just in general. But anyway, y'all, until next time, I appreciate you guys for coming through and vibing with me, and gotta go.